Hi, my name is Arta, and today I will be looking at your site. I will try to explore it both from the views of a designer as well as a visitor who has just come across a new site and explain certain feelings or where it is easy to use, where it's harder to use, what makes sense or what doesn't make sense. I will likely be going all over the place, looking at things, reading, clicking, and also later on revisiting anything I might have missed from your list of things that you wanted me to look at. But I'll try to start more organically. And if you would like, you can keep a little notepad and write down time of, let's say, at 1 minute and 30 seconds she was talking about the fonts, so you can revisit it after you finish watching the video, because it's going to be really long. An hour is a lot of time, so I will try to talk about all the details and all the little things especially. Okay. So let's start here. This is the very beginning of the page, and it's definitely, I remember you said that you had built it yourself. Well, built or created depending on whatever you're using, which is really, really good. And seeing that overall, like the general idea and the site design is really nice. But I will be going into deeper details where something could be enhanced. So here, I think at first I don't remember if there were these social buttons. Back in the day, it used to be a thing that every site had social buttons on the side that follow, and I've done it myself. I had social buttons on the side, and I thought that someone's gonna visit and click them. Most of the time it's not the case, and I would say that they maybe clutter a little bit, and I will suggest where to maybe use these or where to place them, just as so they exist, but maybe don't exist all the time while you're using the site. It's a very, very small chance that someone will tweet or share from here. Sometimes people just copy the link and drop in their own messenger or similar. So yeah, okay, the banner. I like that you have this little animation here. It's really modern. One thing about it, I would say it's moving maybe a little bit too fast. It feels like it's rushing me to quickly read, a little more adventurously, a little more passionately. I feel a bit like rushed, so you might want to add a little bit less of a delay. I'm sure that there's somewhere in the settings it's possible. If not, maybe there's a bit softer way of doing this, because I see this here and there on the site, which it's modern, but that would be the really like deeper detail that I would say, okay, can we make it maybe a little bit more slower? Okay, here I like that the logo is white. It's easy to see on the banner. I think that's very important. It's good to not use a lot of colors in the logo if we are having a colorful and busy background. So this is all perfect. We have our menu. It's understandable, clear. We have a secondary menu here. I will be clicking and thinking about how useful everything is as I go. So for now, I'm not going to click. I'm just going to go down the page. Okay, coaching and outdoor education for purpose-driven, outdoor-inspired people. I like this, but I will mention that when I was reading here, you might want to have something similar to this. Where was it? There was a really good sentence over here. I'm going to find it in a moment. So I would, I usually say that here's the elevator pitch, which technically you do have, but maybe there's a little bit more like right away instant value that you can describe what a visitor gets when they see this in the first 2 seconds when they open the page. And I think a great value would be that here you say I'm a coach certified by the so you could say here certified coach helping you do this, this, and this, kind of like I'm a professional and I will help you with these specific things that when I come as a viewer, I'm like, oh my goodness, she's gonna help me with this, help me fix this thing, and describe what this is and how to do that thing. So this is good, but a little bit more general, purpose-driven, recreation. Maybe it could be a little bit more specific, because there's 2 ways of writing. You can write in a really poetic way that like sounds really poetic and like nice words, and then I think if you're doing a service, a certain type of service that you're selling or offering, I think adding the specific things. So here is what you get, and you should get it because this I am a professional in this thing, and you might want to make sure that's right here, right away, like here, and then like, okay, so professional helps me with these things, got it. And then I'm like, okay, let's explore. So I would find something from here, the words like maybe power or connecting to themselves, and just more specific things that I get if I subscribe or buy or whichever you would offer. Let's say if this was a store, I would get this thing, and I already know. So the next thing that I would do here, it's a bit maybe empty. I don't entirely love this area, and also color wise, I see the brand colors, it's blue and yellow and white. When we put text in one color and text in other color, our brains sort of separate it. And when I was reading it, I read channel The Power of the Outdoors, and then I read In Your Life, and I was like, oh, it's like together, so it's a sentence. But it should be that I don't even have to think or stop here, because I thought that this is maybe like something else. It's just how our brains work. So here, for now, I would maybe even take this out and add all the really valuable stuff at the top. So we had the elevator pitch, and then we could have like the glimpse of you a little bit more. We're like, okay, we're learning who is this person and why I should be staying here and learning more about what is she offering. And maybe this kind of feels a bit like an empty beginning, so it's a bit airy. I know that it's good to add a bit of air here and there, so it's not like content everywhere. We don't want that, but I think that for now, with the elevator pitch, banner, and maybe the first intro would be all right. Okay, so here I noticed on the side there's a style of buttons like so in many areas. I understand it just either comes with a theme. I just wanted to talk a little bit about like humans and buttons, and what I can share about it that I would like for you to think about. So when we are on a page, a lot of things happen subconsciously. How things look like. When we are here, right away we know that this is a title, this is the body text, it's nicely separated. Our brain is already sorting things. And here the first thing that I can think about is it's a list. And then I realized, okay, it's buttons, but it kind of seemed like a list. And it would be really nice if it was more maybe if you enjoy the style of the buttons, this is maybe more like depends on you and your personal like style, what you like. From a design perspective, I would suggest considering not entirely rainbow buttons, but my point was just something that the brain associates with a button, especially now we have apps and all sorts of websites, and there's been all sorts of studies where they track how people's eyes work on the site, and where they go like right away. When I open this page, my eyes go right away to this big green button with a check mark. It's just how it is. So while scrolling, people would notice where is a button. Sometimes it's quite important, maybe more so on sites that sell a product that say that have a button that says buy now or order here, to get our eye to go right away to it. They know that they can click on it and see more or related to that. So maybe there's different button style that I would experiment with. Maybe not in here. It's just the first place where these types of buttons appeared, so I thought I would mention it. I'm not sure that it would look great if it was like one button and another button, but I will revisit a bit more maybe about buttons or what could be here. About heading north. Yeah, I think more about me is definitely necessary. About finding north, would there be a better way where to mention it? Maybe not. Actually, here I don't mind too much that it looks like a list, but I think in some other places, like here, it would be awesome if it was like a really clean like button, like, oh, learn more, I click on it. Of course, when I come here and I read it, I know that I click on it, learn more. But sometimes that subconscious feeling might get you a couple more clicks, because people know that a button should be clicked. They're gonna click on it and check it out, what's hiding under the button. So maybe there's some way of here and there to have a more like button feeling button. There's of course a lot of different styles, so I'm not going to say like which is the correct style right now, but just the idea of a button. And here I wanted to revisit that this is how lists usually look like, having the line, which is why I mentioned that at first it looks like something is listed rather than these are additional pages. Yeah, maybe here a button. Here it's clear that it's a list. Let's look again. Yeah, it's usually this line is a very like a traditional list type of situation. Okay, let's go lower. I think it's great that you include a photo. That's very like I think a special personal connection right away. I see who you are. I know that that's a real person behind the page. Let's see here. I was thinking maybe, see, if we had this introduction, personal introduction, maybe after this we could have this quote like section, maybe in one color, I would suggest, so the separation is not entirely so like exposed that it feels like two different things. We could have after this, so after this have the quote, not a quote, but the message, or yeah, and then it could be this like reviews, feedback type of area. I will say this maybe isn't my most favorite type of like quotes style. I will explain why. There's first thing would be that it's moving really fast. I think I can kind of like go back and read. I might be a bit maybe old school, but I do like when it's more static. Maybe it was the size of here, and there was 3 or 4 quotes that I can manually like click a button like next, read them, and they would be a bit more static. and I would like there to be a little image, or if the person who said it doesn't want to share an image, it doesn't have to be, but for example, it would be nice if there was like a person's image, and then a little, like a line, Allison, like Allison says this, so the little line, like how you make a little signature. So a quote, signature, and maybe a photo. It gives a bit more like authenticity, so it's not running across me really fast and I don't even really read it, and it kind of looks like a quote and kind of unsure. It feels a bit like doesn't have some of the essence that, let's say, this has. Like, this person is saying this means this, and here we have a little bit of a quick like run by, or just quickly run through. I think that this section could be redesigned slightly to have more meaning or more soul. Here, let's see, purpose-driven, outdoor-inspired people work with me if we sound like a fit, choose your adventure. Coaching, outdoor creation, connect with purpose and live life on your own path. Feel confident while exploring the wild safely and responsibly. I think this is clear, so like two different things. Yeah, this is pretty like summarized, clear, so I don't have much to add here. The only thing might be the button, but it's like my personal thing. It's not like right or wrong, so that's all good. Upcoming adventures, join in on the fun. Okay. Yeah, here I also feel like it would make me want to click more if it was like a button, like, hey, say your thought. It's a button, kind of like here. You almost want to click these, but it's just, yeah, no one really uses them anymore, so that's why. But these are technically buttons, like really inviting buttons. I will again revisit them a little bit in a little bit. We have an image. This doesn't really, I can't click, so it kind of felt like almost like a YouTube video cover that I wanted to watch a video for a moment, but it's an image. Could be interesting that maybe if there was an autoplay of something, but that's just a thought. It could be maybe a little video. Yeah, I'm trying to, because since this is an image, we're having in my head, I'm thinking about the design aspect, like what's going on and how it looks, and it looks a bit different than the rest, especially, oh, wait a minute, this is clickable. Yeah, this one is confusing me a little bit. Yeah, I'm thinking of how to present this information right here, and it's kind of already says the expedition, where, details, and then it says it again. So do we need additionally the text here? It could be that, let's say this is not here, and we have the three beautiful little squares of how it looks there, like this image, maybe another image and another image, kind of enticing, is that a good word, for us to want to join because we see beautiful images, how it looks there, or maybe realistic. It doesn't always have to be like it's just beautiful, but yeah, it might not be very easy actually. I've never climbed a mountain, I don't know, but yeah, so I would say maybe without the text could be some visual imagery about this expedition. Yeah, to just change this a bit. Okay. And this is, where should I have this? yeah, here I'm also trying to kind of understand if things could be made just more straightforward. Because this card is very like, hey, it's a card, there's specific information and it's different. And it doesn't look like other cards except for this one, which means that is related to it. So workshop, coaching, which makes sense. Maybe, okay. So we're having yellow and blue, and then we could have for maybe for this Kilimanjaro top part in blue, and maybe we could separate and have this other part in yellow with the inverted colors of, so these would be, the text would be in this deep blue and the background would be this yellow, kind of, so it's one section and the other section, same like here, one section and the other section, because right now both are like on the blue background, so are they the same, are they not? And after a while we learn that it's two different things. So that would be a visual thing that I would suggest, maybe just to change up, like this is A and this is B. Yeah, we have a video. Let's see, I think, yeah, this is something to think about. We have videos, maybe there's a lot right now. Starting from here, we have a video, we have a slider of videos, we have a couple of buttons, we have the, oh, here we have the name. This is interesting with the moving like a video in the background. And then we have newsletter. The font is different here than it is here. I would suggest to keep with this one for like the bold titles. Is this the same? I think, yeah, it might be the same. Yeah, I'm not sure, but definitely to keep similar fonts throughout. Here as well. I will revisit back and trying to kind of gauge what would be the best way to present all of the information. Newsletter. Usually I would suggest newsletter towards the end of the page before the footer, but perhaps actually newsletter could be right after this. With the videos, I would choose maybe either to do one video or the strip of the videos, so it's not as much. We don't have to put every single thing that we have on the home page, but more like all of the glimpses that you offer, so people would go deeper and start browsing the pages. So maybe this one video, and you could have a link or a button that says browse more videos or watch online expeditions, something that clearly notes that when you click on it, you will arrive to all of these videos to be able to watch them. So that's what I would do here. Maybe one video, or here video on the side, and on the other side, I watch more videos of my expeditions, and maybe a small paragraph of a couple sentences of what usually you do in the videos, or what can I expect once I click to watch them. Maybe you will learn more about my expeditions, or see how it goes, or hear what others say about it. Yeah, so sort of a title, watch more here, with a button and a small paragraph of what I'm getting out of watching the videos. Okay, and further on, and these events could technically also be, let's say we had the video on the left, the little blurb about videos here, and it could be a couple buttons that are these. They could all be in the same area. Yeah, so it's a little bit less of a stretch. We have 1, 2, 3 areas we could put it in one, and maybe take out this part. Style wise, it also doesn't fit in all the way, this strip, because the site most of the time looks like this, kind of like these angular shapes, solid colors, and then there's a lot of white and a lot of different images and text and YouTube icons, and it gets overwhelming, I will say. So that's why I would take this out from the home page. Yeah, and here, so I would choose either this area. I would actually say that maybe this is better to take it out from this area and only have it here after the video and the buttons. Have it here with the video in the background with the names. Yeah, definitely with the quote. I think even for when the quotes are here, quotation marks, I would still add them also in here. Yeah, that's what I like this section with the video. It feels more personal. And then the newsletter, yeah, it could be, this is an experiment, I think, with the newsletter. There, I think right now is not very like a right or wrong way of doing it, but finding a place where maybe it's not too many dark blue, dark but between two white background sections maybe, so it's not so cramped. Like also here we have a lot of color, a lot of picture, a lot of picture. So, and here we have a lot of white, and then here we have again a lot of color, a darker color here, also dark. So maybe separate color area, more white background area, color area, and then again more white background area. Quick links. Okay, I feel like this is meant kind of to be like the footer. I would definitely love to talk a bit more about footers. I think that's one of the quite important parts of websites, as they are the final summary, the period at the end of the sentence type of thing for the website. And yours is quite like long, I would say. I will first show you what I would usually suggest: a compact, dark colored footer, here with the social media buttons, here with links clearly indicated, as I mentioned about the human brain and seeing things subconsciously. We right away know this is what we search, this is social, this is links, this is a little bit of a text about your business or who you are or what you're selling. So I think this approach is one of the best ones. Clear, simple, not too much, not too little. And you could do the same thing for your site, not to have as much space for the links and the buttons and the contact me, and another big space for these buttons and the text, and then the photos. I would say that these photos for now I would also not put here. I would put them in more of a bio page, somewhere where it's more about you and, hey, this is me, this is my life, this is how it looks like, this is what I do. So on the homepage, I think we have already a lot of information and pictures that it's not essential that you have it here. It just adds like an extra, like another thing. So for now we want to take something off So I would say that the footer could be, it's nice with this picture in the background and the overlay in blue. This could be the setup for your footer with maybe a little search bar. I see that you have one here. It could be here as well, but I think you can add a bar here as well. All the social icons can be here, or buttons. They could be colorful if you would want them, like here, to be more like stand out, for them to stand out more, or white, whichever you enjoy more. This is more about what you like to look at. And then the links, kind of how it is here, you could have them here. Maybe your logo does keep following us when we go down the website, so I don't think you have to add your logo here in the middle. There's sites that let's see, maybe here's an example where they have like a logo here as well, the logo. I don't know if it's necessary, since your site style reinforces the logo as we go, so we don't forget it right away. So maybe not a logo, that could be a quote, or again revisiting the elevator pitch from here, something that is clear, reminds us why we want to book the service with you, and maybe any contact me or address, or if that applies, a phone or email. Sometimes email spelled out is useful, as people tend to ignore like an email button, but they see an email that they can copy and put in their email. Then they might contact you that way instead of clicking the contact button, because it's more of a way that we used to do it in the past, and now we have all these forms, and it feels like we don't know where the form is actually going. So you want to just send a clear email from your own clear email. So yeah, I would suggest just to also have email address in the footer, just spelled out, so someone can click on it or copy it just in case. So yeah, to add a little bit less, we take out the images. This is a nice photo, we could have it anywhere else as well. So yeah, links, and that's how I would want the footer to look like. A little bit less of things and more compact, so it's not overwhelming. And now I will go through more of the pages. I want to start with these. Okay, a couple things. Me already having explored the site, I come to this page, and there's a couple things that I'm right away just like are like too much for me, and I'm thinking, oh, what is happening? So I wanted to read that the fast change here in the middle is happening, that it's a bit distracting, I will say. Yeah, this is something to think about, how to present. Yeah, it's just that if it's static, moving and static, my brain is trying to read the middle and quickly read the top and the bottom to know what the middle is about. So I would be a bit more careful with the style here, especially since it's a long sentence. Yeah, and the image was also loading really slowly, so it might be a bit too large. You could check out the megabytes. If it's like 2 megabytes, 3 megabytes, that might be too heavy. You might want to make it as small as possible in terms of the megabytes, not pixels. for it to still look good, but take less time loading. Because at first I thought it was only the top bar that has the image, but it turns out it was the whole header that it was loading a bit slower. So this is newsletter. Okay, the fact that I am having a little bit more time to try to understand everything that's going on, because I'm also not really familiar with these things. So with the topic here, it's just, it feels like I clicked on newsletter, but it doesn't say newsletter anywhere here right away. Oh, right here. Maybe I would, okay, what I would do, I have newsletter, maybe have here a little title, sign up for the newsletter, and explain this the paragraph added below the title, but then we have to have something here as well. Yeah, I think I will go through more pages to see what is the most consistent way of the banners, like the top parts, to look like. Because right now my first go-to would be having an image, and if the button says newsletter, it would in the middle say newsletter. If I click on press, there would be a banner of an image, and in the middle it would say press. So me being on this page, I know where I arrived as I clicked on the title of it, and I see the title, it makes sense right away. So when I clicked on newsletter and started reading, I honestly forgot that I'm on a newsletter page. So this would be probably necessary to rearrange in a way that makes it, I mean, this one right here makes clear sense that this is about like a newsletter. You sign up, we can see the form, it all makes sense. But with all the text and the changing parts, it felt like it's a lot going on, and for a second I forgot that this is a newsletter page. Okay, let's check out press. Oh, see here it's really straightforward. So maybe because these three, okay, so first thing that I'm thinking now is these three appear to be something else than these. So these three in my head would look differently than all of these. So, but I understand that if I click here, we have a banner, and if we click on newsletter, we also have a banner. If we click on press, we don't have a banner, we have kind of like category press. And maybe this same page style could also be for newsletter. Really clear, clean, quick. So these feel like clean, quick buttons that maybe don't have a lot of content, would be the first like idea. Like the small ones, the quick ones, the ones in the corners, not the most important ones. But then I see what's north. Maybe this is more important, so why not have what's north here in the more like important standout menu? Do we have it clearly spelled out? Finding north. Is it a different one? About finding north. Okay, and what's north? Okay, we're having a lot of information in two different pages that feel like they could be related. Maybe in about, that if this, let's say we put it in about area, we could have about, and then what is north, who is Chelsea, and about finding North. Kind of these three really clear pages. Yes, I think that would be, because this feels like it's also quite important that the top menu is usually not the like the essential menu. So I would call this essential. Yeah, that's what I would do when it comes to the organization of the content of the page. I think all of that is all right. It's readable. It has titles. This is more for you to know how to present what is the important things. So I could only suggest to, as you are already doing, have clear titles. Make sure that the information isn't in one huge block all over the page, which we have here. Which we don't have here. We have clearly organized, like here's one section, we have an image, another section of the important standout information, and another section, so it's more easily digestible also here. So there's nothing that I would specifically say it's right or wrong here. So all that is up to you, what you would like to include. Maybe, let's see, the quotes, reviews. Okay, yeah, I think it's fine if we have the quote area, yeah, in this page. That feels like the right place for it, so I would keep it. Yeah, this is all right. So this is what's North. I'm going to go a bit in the about first, and then this. I will click on about. Nothing happens. Okay, that's all right. Finding North. Let's see. When I first, I'm a bit silent because I'm thinking about what I was missing when I first came to the site. I feel like I had to dig a little too deep or too far to find like the right button of about, or why not put one of the first buttons right here, what's North, rather than hide it here. Actually, now that I think about it, that would be, if I land on your page right here, if I'm in any way confused, I could just see the first button that says what's North, and like, where am I, what's North? I click on it and I read about it. It could be also this page, but I do like the wording what's North. I almost feel like, yeah, this is really like to the point of where have I come, and then I read the mission, the vision, and I'm like, oh, and this is what it's about. So I feel like finding North could be placed as one of the first buttons here, with the name about finding North, or what is finding North, as the first buttons, and then it would land on this page. And now it would make a lot more like clear sense without trying to kind of think about where would I find an about. About is really straightforward, so it could be also here that I feel like a nice button here of like, what is North? What? So this is what I would do to kind of make it extra clear for people like me who were a bit confused from the first look, because I've never come in contact with a similar website, and I'm curious to explore. But the first thing was, I'm not sure if I understand, but I kind of understand, and I would like to take away that kind of and be very clear, like this is a button that says what's north, and it's right here, and I click on it and I read about it, and I'm like, oh, okay, now I get it, all clear. Yeah, because this is very explanatory. Yeah, oh, here we click on it. I think I like this. I don't love that because I couldn't tell that this is a link. I almost thought that it's just a little bit of a subtitle. Maybe you could have the picture, like let's say this photo right here, and it would say this text, the story behind Finding North, and learn more about Chelsea Berg right here. It's in some form of a button that we know that we can click on, because right now, of course, I understand, but if there was a button, or you could, yeah, no, I would suggest to have a little title and learn more, literally with a button. So I'm clicking on learn more, and I see who am I learning more about. Here, I think here's also appropriate to have the reviews, so that's all right. The newsletter, I don't know, I would maybe not have the newsletter for now in the kind of like the introductory about us area, to keep it more like clean and kind of like a little flyer, and we would maybe have this not on this page, you could put it somewhere else as well. So here for now I would take it out and just have it clean and clear. Yeah, just all the information that's here, and a more clear button to learn about a person that I'm seeing here. Okay, and I will now go to the page. Okay, everything is clear. Just the wording here, Chelsea and bio, I don't love entirely Chelsea and bio. Maybe I would just call it about Chelsea, and we kind of already know that it will be kind of like about a bio page, and it feels like it should be Chelsea and Chelsea's bio, or just bio, but I would just say about Chelsea. That would be how I would like to write it, but this is not a correct or incorrect type of thing. This is just my more, I would say, more opinion. This is all clear, little quote. I think it's all right to like have a title like this. Here it feels like it's fits in. We have a photo, we have text, it's readable, some buttons. Oh wait, there's, oh, this one goes to about Finding North, and there's more on my story, so there's kind of like an additional about. Wait, I'm going to, okay, this is really official. I think this is really good to have. Yes, all this, I think newsletter. Also, maybe not on the bio page, because usually when I learn about someone, I don't right away go to sign up to a newsletter. I sign up to a newsletter after pages like events or contact, things that relate to, I want to keep up with this information. About page is more kind of like a resume, and the newsletter would reference almost that they would get more information about a resume, but it's not entirely about that, it's about the page. So it's just for now I would again not have it here. There's a lot of sites and tutorials that suggest having newsletter almost everywhere. It's more of a personal thing, I think, for brands and products that like sell millions and like have these pages with a lot of information and a lot of sign up buttons. Like it's more for them, but for a really like a soulful, personal, special page, if there's too much of the newsletter, it feels like it keeps like popping up like all the news. It's like too much. So that's why I would suggest to keep it in areas that relates to upkeeping with news or upkeeping with the business, so the events or contact or the homepage. The homepage is kind of like a classic area where usually there's a newsletter or subscribe or something like that. So for now, take it out, and I would call this about Chelsea or Chelsea's bio. And let's click here, more on my story. It feels like that's another page about a bit about Chelsea Berry. I'm sorry behind finding North. Which page is it? Because it's not this and it's not this. Is it this? It's like, it feels like I went deeper into the site, but I don't have sort of like it's not clearly in the navigation where this page exists. Like this page is not in the about section, so I can only get to this page if I go to Chelsea and bio, and then I go more on my story. So it's quite hidden. I might be wrong, I might be missing it somewhere. That's my first understanding, that I had to dig a little bit. Let's see. I believe that maybe if you do want to separate the pages, then I would call one Chelsea's bio and this one Chelsea's story. Kind of like one is, hey, here's my credentials, and the other one is, here's the like my story, my beginnings, or here's how I came about to be in this business or area of life. So if you would want to separate it, I would say that it should be also here, maybe with two different titles. Yeah, as I mentioned, to distinguish, or to have everything in one page. But yeah, then carefully arranged with certain separations or a video, so it's not really long page. Well, not a really long page. Is there a photo here, or maybe it's not loading? There seems like there should be a photo. I guess there might be, but maybe it's not loading for me right now. Yeah, I would take a look into that. Okay, let's click on coaching. Mindfulness and outdoor coaching to help you get inside and get inside and get on your path. Mindfulness and outdoor coaching to help you get inside. And I'm thinking get inside. I was thinking that is outdoor, so I was thinking in my head outside. But I believe you're talking about like inside, like of yourself, to see inside of yourself. So maybe just for me at first it was a little bit confusing, but it might be just me. The photo, I think it's either not loading. It might be that me recording this is a bit heavy on the internet and the computers. Here I think it's alright with the in and out style, because it's just one word, and the separation of color is also alright because it makes sense that here's many different words that will be coming and going, and I'm here looking at them. So here I don't have the same. Oh, it loaded. Okay, so I would suggest checking if this image might also be just too large in the megabytes. So yeah, here I don't have the same critique that I don't like the different colors. Here I think is the one place where it definitely works, the changing and the colors. Coaching. I would, for some people, I used to, like 5 or so years ago, I never really knew what coaching was. So maybe you could start off with a little bit of what is coaching, and quickly introduce, like, coaching is way of describe for the regular people who are not aware of the concept just yet. And then we have all the other info. All that is alright. Oh, here we have some buttons. See, this feels a bit more, yeah, this I like a little bit better, because I could right away, without much thinking, it didn't look like a list. It felt like, okay, I click here and I will arrive to another page. Okay, I'll click on one. Workshop. Okay, a lot of text, and the changing, when I first see it, it takes a while to figure out if I should read the words first or the static text. Yeah, so I would maybe, yeah. I liked it in the previous page with the little quote where the words are changing and the color, because it was short and sweet and clear. But when it's these big titles and longer sentences, it just feels just like I can't maybe follow along enough, or it's too long, or it's too much change, so I want to skip it. But you don't want people to skip it just because it's having like a change here. So maybe there's a way to write it, or to have it shorter here, similar like you had in the quote previously, that only one word is changing at the end of the sentence rather than the beginning or the middle. I think this is really clean and clear. There's not much necessary to add or remove. This also makes sense. Here I see that we don't have a footer, so maybe here I would have also the classic footer to like finalize. It should be definitely on each page really clearly at the bottom, something that is unchanging. I think all that is clear. Okay, so we were here. Coaching. Yeah, this is what I liked. And when we clicked on workshop, where could I find it? It doesn't seem to be in here, so I would have coaching and have a drop down that says, what does it say? Join workshop, kind of like here, about, and then two drop downs we would have coaching, join workshop, or is there another one? Is this different? Oh, have a different page. I'm not sure that this would be the best way. I see that this is a specific like mailing application or site that is helping with that. This might be yeah, this needs to be thought about if it's good that it opens in a separate page. And it looks like something that I saw already. Get coaching updates. Okay, here we have a lot of links. I feel like I see a lot of links like in pages, but I don't think all of them are here. And I firmly believe that if there's any links that are pages, like this one, and let's see, here, there's a lot of links. What happens? Oh, it goes to, okay, to this page. Okay. This is something to think about, how to, maybe if it is seasonal, should we, the moment that it is, if it's for now is not available, maybe there's a way to say that currently you're not, what was the wording? Not taking coaching clients, but you're welcome to sign up to the newsletter here, and then you have the newsletter right here. And when you are taking the clients, then you could say currently I'm open to new clients, click here and then button to sign up, or fill in the information here if we had something like this right here. So this will be something that you could change as you start your season and when you end. So yeah, 2 different versions, 1 page for when you're doing it, you have something to fill in to sign up. When you're not doing it, you mention that you're not doing it, but hey, you can sign up for a reminder of when I will be starting. I don't entirely love that. It's kind of, because these two now feel like these are 2 pages or 2 links, and this one is very different. And this one, I remember it wasn't in the list of the links. Oh, was it? I don't think. See, now I'm like going in certain circles, and this shouldn't be something that I had to think about as a visitor. Now I'm thinking, where was I? How did I get there? I'm not sure. Workshop. We don't have a button that says workshop. I would have it here as well. Yeah, so it's a bit more clear. Okay, so the rule would be if there's a page link that you can click, it should also be somewhere here if it's related to about. All of the about type things would be under about. Every outdoors related page or sign up for outdoors activity or what to expect should be, like the pages should be clear, listed. And any coaching related pages, if they dive deeper, like in each page I can click on something, then you should have all the deeper dives also listed here. So in case I'm, let's say, back on like the home page, and I remember about that I was looking at a page that was talking about a workshop, I could in my brain process, okay, workshop sounds something like about outdoors or coaching, and I could see, oh, it dropped down, it's a workshop, I click on workshop. But right now, I don't know where the workshop was and how I got there. I think it was through here. No, this is something else. So I see that there's even more. So there's a lot of pages, so you might want to, even if it's a bit hard on the computer when designing, maybe on the piece of paper you can list all of the titles of the pages that you have, every single one, and then group them on your a piece of paper to see clearly how many main titles you have here and how many drop downs, just to have every single page listed. That will make the navigation a lot more clear and just straightforward for the visitor and the user experience. So it's not so it's less clicking around and trying to dig where I was and what I used to look at. Yeah, so I would definitely look into that. Here, I like this again. This is good. Here we have a video. Okay, activities. Oh, these are really nice cards. I really like this. It's fun. But this means that each of this is also a link. Can I click on it? Oh, contact me. Oh, I clicked on it. Okay. Let's see. Okay, it goes to the contact page. That's good. Okay, this is straightforward. It's clear. I would like to have a footer here as well. I'll go back so I don't lose where I was. And oh, I clicked on the contact. Join an expedition. Join help activities. Okay, find yourself outside. What happens if I click here? It doesn't. Okay, so this is just like a quote. Can I click? Oh, but I can click on this one. So this is something to think about. Oh, there's. Okay, it's under blog. Okay, that makes sense. So we're having different sections in the blog area. But what I wanted to say about these, I love the cards. They're really interesting design edition. It's really nice. It's hard to at first tell that these are clickable. At first it seemed clickable, and then I thought maybe it's just text, and then I saw the buttons that at the moment don't look like buttons. Maybe they could be accentuated a little bit. Yeah, I would think about how to accentuate the little clickable cards, as yeah, all of them have links. Browse topics. Maybe browse my blogs so I could relate as a visitor that this is related to the blog area. In case I move away somewhere in other pages, I remember that there was a blog. Or you could say browse blog topics. You would want to keep the repetition of certain words. So the more we see the word blog, I clearly know where to click on a blog, that there was a blog, and that I should find a blog. So I would have that. So contact is clear, browse blog topics, learn more, join an expedition. Which page does this land on? Oh, I don't think I've seen this page. Oh, it's under events. Is it under events? Yes. Okay, so I haven't visited events yet. Then maybe here I will go back a bit. Since it says here join an expedition, maybe here could say clearly again, like the blog situation, we could have see our events. So we know that all the activities and events are under the events page, and we reinforce it again in the events, like events and then events. I mean, when I click on it, I land on events, because I don't land on what is an expedition page, I land on events. So that's why I'm saying the word so much, to kind of make it as clearly understandable that this is events card, this is blog card, this is contact card, join group activities. I assume that this would go to events, or because we don't have page upcoming activities. Okay, events. So maybe this could be called events and activities. Since here we say activities, we lost, we don't have anymore the word event here, so we lost that somewhere in the middle. So we might need to make a decision of calling everything events, or everything activities, or everything events and activities, so it all has the keywords. That this would be the, let's go back and find it. This would be the events and activities card. This would be, let's see, book 3. Oh, okay, this goes to an outside page. Okay, well, this is more separate. And since it's separate, not on the site, I think this is fine. This is all right. We have a bit of text and imagery. Okay, this is really nice. Join an upcoming event. I assume this will go to the events. I will do some clicking around right now. Yes, so activities, events. Oh. Organize activity. I feel like I see the word group being mentioned. Oh. The word group being mentioned, but I don't see anything about group groups mentioned like in the navigation, and I wouldn't know that that is something that is possible. Here it doesn't contact heading north if maybe there could be a link that explains more about the group, for your group. So for someone who has a group that could be a drop-down group events. So you would have a whole page describing how you can sign up, or what it means, or what you do there. Just a rundown of group events for organizers or something like that. Because here there's nothing about the group, and it only appears, I think here. Yeah, so the group I would like for you to touch up on a bit more, describe it somewhere, to introduce the possibility. Yeah, I would like the footer. I think in the contact page. So yeah, the newsletter is completely fine. Okay, we looked at all the pages. I think I will go back to events one more time. Learn more and save your spot. Learn more. It lands on... Oh, this is a new page. I have not seen this page before. Okay, so we're having... Okay, there's a lot. So it's this one. Should also be somewhere when we drop down, climb Mount Kilimanjaro. So it's again clear that there's something like that to be clicked on, and I assume that in the events drop down, also should be about the workshop, like events, join workshop, or yeah, just here maybe a big active event that is current, and then another one about coaching workshop, so it's clear that these things are available. Yeah, so some of these links, it's alright, they could stay and everything, but just to make sure that all of these pages that I keep stumbling upon accidentally are listed here, should be listed right here. Let's see. Yeah, I think the quotes are alright. If we have them here, the newsletter. The newsletter could also be in a page like this, since it's about the events or possibilities of activities. Okay. So I feel like I touched upon a lot of aspects, both on like colors or the text, or how easy or hard it is to read something or to find something, or how our brain perceives things and what is like too much or not enough, if it's too heavy or too busy. So I would just keep editing the site just to finalize all the little things that I've talked about, because in general, I mean, I've probably talked for quite a long time, but in general, this is one of the better sites that I also looked at and had to review. So I go into like all the nitty gritty, maybe a little bit of annoying things that technically are fine, but could be maybe experimented with or edited. So I would say that overall, everything in general, the colors, the font styles, the way you use titles, or where you accentuate, all of that is like really, really well done. And there's not something that I need to tell which one should be bigger text and smaller. All of this is organized like really clearly and well. So that is not at all a problem. So the biggest problem for me would be the navigation. I think you have all of the information, all of the details about what is your I want to call it service. I will call it service for now. So what is your service? Who are you? And all the like, blog and available events, upcoming events. So you have the substance. All that I would say the biggest thing that you would want to do is really, really organize it super clearly, that even the most like the person who pays the least attention would quickly remember or know where to click, or where they were, or which page they should go to. I tend to browse roughly, and if I spend a long time on the site, like right now a whole hour, and have a problem remembering under which area I was browsing which page or where I saw what, then it's a bit of a problem. So I would say to focus on the menu, organizing all the pages, and making sure that words don't mix. If a page is called a blog, then when I enter the blog page, I can still see that it says blog somewhere. So it doesn't say topics, because it's really good to have the connection of the same word, that I know where I am. If a person wants to contact, they can see where the contact page is, and all that was all in the right place. So overall, I think that you have a really great site. I had a lot of fun browsing and learning about this. I think it's quite an interesting thing that you're doing, and I really think that only with some fairly minor design editing and just a bit more in the links editing. The new editing is going to be all good and perfect, and it's going to work really well for you. Oh, and I wanted to mention that the Instagram like reel could be better in like a bio page somewhere in towards the bottom, where a person is learning about you and who you are and what you do, and then sees a little like Instagram reel of the cutest, coolest, most fun pictures. So that's where I would suggest where to put the Instagram area. But yeah, overall everything is good. I enjoyed your site, and I wish you luck with developing it, because you've done a really good job. And if you have any questions, or I confused you in some areas, as I'm trying to experience the site really like freshly, so I don't come too prepared that I know everything, because a regular visitor will not be 100% prepared. So I was just going through, and if you have any confusion about what I said or what I meant, don't hesitate to ask me. So yeah, thank you for ordering, and I wish you the best.